Hello, friends. This is Smita, and our today's session is based on non accounting vouchers. What are the different types of non accounting vouchers? How they are different from regular accounting vouchers? How to enter such non accounting vouchers? How they affects the financial statement of a company? All these things we will learn in this session. So let's start with different types of accounting voucher. Tally transactions are broadly classified into accounting, or we can say conventional vouchers, and second one, non-accounting or non-conventional vouchers. As we know, the tally allows to enter different types of transactions. So these transactions can be either accounting or non-accounting, or we can say conventional or unconventional, or we can say non-conventional vouchers. What are these type of accounts? What are these types of transactions? Let's see. First of all, we will see the accounting vouchers. We will understand what are the accounting vouchers. Accounting vouchers are the conventional vouchers. These vouchers affects the books of accounts. So by entering such accounting vouchers, we can such vouchers can affect the books of accounts. For example, we have entered payment voucher, receipt voucher, sales voucher, purchase voucher, contra entry we have entered. Again, other types of vouchers like debit note, credit note, receipt note, delivery note. So all these are the accounting vouchers. These types of accounting vouchers are known as conventional vouchers, and entering such vouchers can change or affects the books of accounts. So by entering each and every transaction, every debit and credit side can affect the books of account. So these are the accounting vouchers. We have already learned this types of vouchers. Now the second is non-accounting vouchers. Non-accounting vouchers are non-conventional or unconventional vouchers. These vouchers do not affect the books of account like other, that is regular vouchers of accounting type. They affect the books of account, but non-accounting vouchers do not affect the books of account. Such entries are not posted to ledgers in Tally. So if you go through non-accounting voucher entry, these entries do not get posted in Tally, but we can find them stored separately. We can check the reports in a separate way. They are not the regular vouchers. They do not affect the books of account. So whatever the debit or credit part of these types of vouchers do not add or subtract to any amounts of original ledgers. They just are available for entering non-accounting, or those do not affect the books of account. Such entries we can enter through non-accounting vouchers. So example is memorandum voucher, reversing journal voucher, and optional voucher. So these are the three types of vouchers. These types of vouchers we will learn one by one, and we'll check how they do not affect the books of accounts. So let's start with the first one, memorandum voucher. What do you mean by memorandum voucher? How it is used? Let's see. This is non-accounting or non-conventional voucher. The transaction passed to this voucher does not affect the books of account. So memorandum vouchers do not affect the books of accounts. These vouchers are stored in a separate memo register. We have a separate memorandum register where we can find all the memo vouchers, or we can say memorandum vouchers. Anytime these vouchers can be converted to regular or accounting voucher. And though we have entered the voucher as a memo voucher, memorandum voucher, we can convert it to regular one or accounting voucher. So when to use memorandum vouchers? When making suspense payment. For example, if you are making any suspense payment, we can say, for example, the company gives an employee cash to buy some office materials or any stationery, where the exact nature and the amount or cost of such expenses for the time being is unknown. It is in this type of we can say in this type of case we can enter a voucher for the petty cash give as an advance given to the that person, that employee, but it is not a salary for that employee. So how we can enter through advance payment to that person? So it is not possible to enter the as a advance given to that particular employee. Also, it is impossible, it is not allowed to enter the expense voucher or payment voucher without having any document in your hand. So you have just handed over 500 rupees, suppose 500 rupees to your clerk for Xerox and all these things for stationery purpose. So you have just handed over 500 rupees to the person, and now he will go to that Xerox shop, like Xerox will buy pen, pencil, all those stationery, and will ask that shopkeeper for the bill or invoice or a cheat where all the total expenses are mentioned. Suppose you have given this 500 rupees at the end of the day to that person, and you went home, you left your office, and the next day that person came with the that cheat expense voucher and the remaining amount. Suppose he spent 480 rupees and 20 rupees he handed back to you. So how to enter such 500 rupees on the day one, and how to enter 480 rupees on the second day? We cannot enter this amount given as an advance to that person because it is not a salary for that person. It is the money which is handed over to him for making expenses for anything, means printing and stationery and all those things. So as you have handed over 500 rupees to that person, your cash, the cash in hand or petty cash gets decreased by 500 rupees, but you cannot show, you cannot enter the transaction as you don't have any voucher with you. You don't have any document to enter the voucher. So day one you should enter 500 rupees given to someone as a employee, but you are not confirmed how much rupees will get spent and how much rupees will get will you will get back. So for this we will enter a memorandum voucher where we can make entry of the money given to that person, and the next day when he gives the document or the bill of all the printing and stationery expenses, we can convert this voucher to regular one with the exact amount of expenses. So let's start with such type of expense or memorandum voucher. So you can use memorandum voucher for making suspense payment. Same way, items given on approval. Suppose some goods are sold, but still they are not given, or they are still waiting for the approval. In that case, such entries can be entered through memorandum voucher, and then after receiving the approval, the entries can get converted into regular voucher. And unverified vouchers. Suppose you are the junior and you enter different vouchers and you're waiting for the verification or acceptance by your senior. So in that case, till that senior gives the goes through the verification of the voucher, those vouchers will not affect the books of account. So in that case, you can use memorandum vouchers. Pass all the vouchers through memorandum, and then after getting approval for the vouchers, you can convert them into regular vouchers. So let's start with memorandum voucher. How to enter memo voucher? So go to gateway of tally voucher. F10 is, press F10. It is for other vouchers and type memorandum. If you are entering this type of document for the first time, you have to accept or create new one. Otherwise, you can just type the memorandum and can enter the voucher. Now, The example is you have given 500 to Mr. suppose Akshay, the clerk, for Xerox on 1st of April 22. And then he submitted the voucher of 480 rupees and returned 20 rupees on the next day. So for this, we need to enter the transaction. Let's start with entering the memorandum voucher. Go to Gateway of Tally, voucher F10, type memorandum. So this is our company. Let's open the company. Royals, Mrs. Royal Enterprises. Just check. Okay. So suppose the first is on 1st of April you handed over 500 rupees to Mr. Akshay. So this is Gateway of Tally, vouchers. Press F10 for other vouchers and then start typing memorandum voucher. This is memorandum voucher. You need to activate memorandum voucher type. If you want to activate, activate it by pressing yes or Y from the keyboard. So we need to enter memorandum voucher. See, in the background it is a payment voucher, but now if you click yes, see the voucher gets turned to memorandum voucher. This is the first voucher. Enter the date. The date is 1st of April. Now entry will be Xerox, that is printing and stationery account debit to cash. So let's enter printing. We don't have that ledger. We will create the ledger. Printing and stationery expense account. This is your indirect expense. So it will come under the group indirect expenses. Cost centers, if you want the cost centers, if you have created different cost centers, means for a Xerox, the amounts paid for Xerox, so and so, for stationery items, for notebooks, books, anything, for everything, or you have the pages, blank pages, if you are buying blank pages. So you can create different cost centers, but at present I'm not preparing any cost center. I'm not enabling this question, so I'm keeping it no. Control A. Suppose 500 rupees. See, this is memorandum voucher. Total amount 500 to cash. Credit will go to cash part. Cash. Cash. 500. So being money handed over to Mr. A.K. Sejawal Akshay. In the narration, you can specify for what you have given this, handed over this money to your clerk. Even you can specify the name of the clerk also for Xerox expenses, so that when you get return, when you get actual document for this type of money handed over to that person, you can relate the document properly and you can have the proper cash balance with you. So I have given the narration being money handed over to Mr. Akshay for Xerox expenses. Enter. See, as we have entered the cash ledger or indirect expenses, the printing and stationery, we will just go through the reports. Profit and loss account. I will give the I will change the date slot. Indirect expenses, enter. It is showing just advertisement expenses, though the period is from 1st of April to 2nd May. It is not showing the list of the amount spent on printing and stationery, or it is not showing the, you can say, in balance sheet also it doesn't show the cash gets reduced. Current asset, cash in hand, cash. See, it is showing only one in transaction in the month of May. It is not showing the April month's transaction. So memorandum vouchers do not affect the books of accounts. So they are just there in the list. And how to find them? How to list out the memorandum vouchers? go to gateway of tally, display more reports, exceptional vouchers, memorandum voucher. So go to gateway of tally. So we are on the first screen. Go to display more reports, statement of exceptional reports, exceptional reports, and we need to check memorandum register. Enter. Here is one entry in the month of April. Suppose this is the entry which we have opened. Now, on the second day, suppose that Mr. Akshay submitted the voucher of rupees 480 for Xerox expenses and returned 20 rupees. So, now what we will do, we will convert this memorandum voucher to regular one by entering the exact amount of expenses. Rest amount of cash, that is 20 rupees, will, as we have not as that we have passed this to memorandum voucher, cash does not get reduced. The total balance is as it is. So we will just enter the exact amount of money spent on Xerox and the date. So next day he gave the all these documents, but spent on 1st of April. So you can have the 1st April or 2nd April, whatever the company's rules are there, you can change the date. So as per document, the date is 1st April. I'm keeping it as it is. Printing and stationery, I'm just change the amount 480 rupees to cash. Okay. At present, still it is in the memorandum voucher. I will change the narration being money spent on Xerox or whatever the actual expenses are there. And before entering this voucher, we will convert this into regular voucher. As this is the expense voucher, we will convert it into payment voucher. Just press F5 from the keyboard. It will get converted. It will get regularized. So it is the payment voucher. Debit goes to printing and stationery 480 rupees. Cash. Now see, the amount gets changed. The balance of the cash got changed. It is 480 and narration we have already changed. So now press Ctrl A for saving this voucher. Let's check the report now. First of all, profit and loss account. I'm pressing Alt F2 to change the period. Okay, it is now, it is showing the profit and loss from 1st of April to 2nd May. We are in the indirect expense. Press enter. See, now it is showing the printing and stationery ledger actual amount of rupees 480 rupees. So this is how we can enter the transactions through memorandum voucher for making suspense payment or items those not yet received approval or unverified vouchers. So all these vouchers can be entered through non-accounting or memorandum voucher, and when you get confirmation or you know the exact payment or receipt, in that case just go through the memorandum register, open that particular voucher, convert it into the regular voucher, either payment, press F5 for payment voucher, or if it is a receipt voucher, receipt memorandum voucher, you can change it to receipt voucher by pressing F6 and blah blah blah. So like this, you can change the memorandum voucher to regular one. So once again, go to display more reports, exceptional reports, memorandum register. Now there is no entry in the memorandum register. So if there are any entry in the memorandum register, just go through each and every transaction, why we have handed over money to that particular guy, collect the money from that person and convert the voucher to regular one. So this is how memorandum vouchers are used and entered and registered can be checked. Next is scenario management. So suppose the same voucher I am converting it into the memorandum voucher. Once again, we will convert the same into memorandum voucher. This printing and stationery 480. I am converting it into memorandum voucher. How to convert it? Just press F10, convert it into memorandum and entering the original amount paid given to that person. Okay, I'm not changing the narration. Okay. Now what? See, as we know, memorandum vouchers do not affect the books of accounts. If you check the books of accounts, profit and loss account, it is not available in the list. But if such expenses occurs, then what will be the situation of our balance sheet or profit and loss account, that we need to check. This is known as a scenario management. So scenario management is a tool used for analyzing the various types of accounting and inventory reports along with the non-accounting vouchers. It is important, it is most useful to check the reports including non-accounting or non-conventional voucher. In this report, you can check the balance sheet, profit and loss, or stock summary along with the non-accounting vouchers. So how to create scenario? How to go through scenario management? Step 1, create scenario. How to create the scenario? Gateway of Tally, create and then type scenario. As we are creating it for the first time, you have to give the word, you have to type the word scenario. So let's start with this. Go to create scenario. I will type scenario. The list is available. Name scenario 1. I'm just giving a name with memorandum voucher. Memo voucher. Okay. So include actuals, yes, and include what type of we can say type of vouchers we need to enter. So suppose I would like to check the balance sheet or profit and loss along with the memorandum voucher. So memorandum voucher. I have selected memorandum vouchers, and then end of the list, exclude nothing, everything get included along with that memorandum voucher. Okay, so we have created the scenario. Now pass required entries to memo voucher. We have already created this optional and reversing vouchers. We will learn immediately. And then step 3, check the comparison report. Insert new column by pressing Alt C and select the scenario for comparison. So how to check? Suppose we would like to check the balance sheet or profit and loss account. So open that particular report. Now convert it into a single entry, vertical view. So control H, we will press control H, vertical view. So at present we have only one indirect expenses, and now I will add new column. How to add new column? New column by Alt C, 1st of April to end of the whatever the books of account ending on that particular date till that date. Method default, and here we will enter the scenario 1, that is scenario 1 with memo voucher. Show variance. If you want to check the variance, we can check. I am present, I am keeping it no. See, just press Alt F5 for details. See, at actual column, in the actual column, it is not showing the printing and stationery amount in the actual column because memorandum vouchers do not affect the books of account. But suppose if you want to check the books of accounts, if you have spent such amount for just imaginary purpose, then what will be your profit, what how your balance sheet will look like. That way you have to create a scenario to check the reports along with the regular voucher and as well as the non accounting voucher. See, actuals showing only advertisement expense, and scenario is showing both advertisement as well as printing and stationery expense report. So how to check scenarios? Go open any type of report, convert it into the vertical way, control H, press control H, convert it into vertical, and then press control Alt C for adding one more column. Select the date range. Method of stock valuation: if there is a stock, it will get valued as per the method that we have already learned, different types of methods of stock valuation. So select the method, and then the important is type the value to show. we have created this scenario one. So open that type of scenario, and suppose I would like to check the variance. So press Y. So it is showing the variance also. So in current asset, we have cash. So I'm pressing Control F5 to know the cash in hand. See, in the actuals, it is not showing the 500 rupees minus, but in say, variance report, it is showing 500 gets deducted. It is the variance report. If you would like to check scenario without variance, I'm just adding one more column. Date ranges as it is for the same scenario without variance. See, this is actual column. I'm just selecting the column proper way. It is showing the balance of cash as 2,15,000. Here it is. Where with variance, it is showing 500 gets deducted, and without variance, but with scenario one, the balance actually in the drawer is 2,14,500. So this is how you can check the reports of memorandum by using scenario. So this is how the scenario management is used. Now the next type of non-accounting voucher is reversing journal. What is reversing journal? How it is used? How to enter and how to check the report of this exceptional voucher. Reversing journal is the non-accounting voucher. Reversing journal are special journals. Those get reversed automatically after the date of applicability. So generally we have only one single date for the voucher entry, which is on the top right corner. But in the reversing journal, it has two dates: the date of the entry and the date on which this specified entry will get reversed. So here to enter that date also. And to enter the reversing journal, go to gateway of tally, voucher, special other type of voucher F10, and type reversing voucher. And here is the way to check the report. So let's start reversing voucher entry. The example is, see, we pay salary, the company pays salary on 5th of next month. Okay. So outstanding salary entry is made at the end of every month. How to enter outstanding salary entry? I will just show you. Enter, go to voucher. This is regular voucher. So I'm just, it's an outstanding salary entry. So it will be in the journal voucher, right? So suppose the we are we are issuing the salary for the month of May. So on 31st May, we will enter the salary amount to be paid. So salary account debit will get salary expense account will be indirect expense, no cost center available. Suppose we pay 35,000 as a salary. We need to pay 35,000 salary for the month of May. So the entry will be salary account debit to outstanding salary, right? Outstanding salary. Here we can have the subgroup. We have already learned outstanding expense group can be created as a subgroup of current liability. So I'm just selecting the current liability. Okay. So this is how we can enter the transaction of salary payable, that is outstanding salary to outstanding salary. Suppose this is the regular entry we would like to enter through journal voucher on 31st May. Okay. The next is on 31st May, company decided to check the profit and loss report after considering all the liabilities. So suppose instead of entering this entry, it is just imaginary entry that we have paid that salary. So if this salary account debit to bank, if instead of outstanding salary we use cash or bank ledger, in that case we would like to check the report on, see, pass the entry on 5th of May using reversing journal applicable up to 55th of May. So I am entering this entry on 5th of May. 5th May. So it is not available for us. So I am just entering on 2nd of May. If you have the license version of tally. You can enter 5th of May. And now I will convert this voucher into reversing journal. How to convert it? Press F10, type reversing journal, enter. Yes. For first time we are entering this. So activate now, yes. See. Now it is asking for two dates. The regular voucher date. So on 2nd May, we are entering salary account debit to cash, enter, and this is applicable up to 31st of May. As per the example, it will get reversed on 31st of May. So narration being salary for the month of May itself. Okay. So this will be a reversing journal with the effect, the date of the voucher, and from which this date to this date, it will get displayed in the books of account. Before this date and after this date, it will not have any effect on the books of account. This is what the reversing journal is. So let's enter Control A, save the same. Now, how to check the report? Go to display more reports, exceptional reports. You have the reversing journal. So go to display more reports, exceptional reports. We have this reversing journal register. So there is one entry in the month of May. So if you press enter, we can open the entry also. The next part is, suppose as we have entered this, we'll check the balance sheet of profit and loss account. Just open the profit and loss account, indirect expenses, enter. It is not showing the cash paid for salary. Okay, as it is a reversing journal. It is a non-accounting voucher which do not affect the books of accounts. So how to check the how, if this type of voucher gets entered and such expenses occurs, then what will be the effect on books of account, that we need to check. So how to check? Again, we will create scenario to check the effects of above transaction. So how to check the scenario? We will create scenario, create. Now as we have already created, the list is it is available in the list. Scenario 1, scenario 2, 2 with reversing journal. See, journal. So I'm just giving the name to identify which scenario we have created for this type of example. Include actuals, yes, and here I will select reversing journal to be included, and back rest of the thing as it is. Press Ctrl A. Now how to check the scenario? Open any report. Suppose I am opening balance profit and loss account, convert it into vertical. It is in the vertical way. If it is not there, press Ctrl H and change it to vertical. And now add one more column. The same procedure that we have followed for memorandum register. So press Ctrl C, sorry, Alt C, select the date range, method of stock valuation, select the method as per the company's memorandum. Now we will select this scenario 2. Show variance if you want to check the variance or without variance. So see, I'm just pressing Control F5, sorry, Alt F5 for details. See, advertisement expense is there, 35,000. Printing and stationery have the memorandum voucher, so it is not showing as we have not included this type of voucher, memorandum voucher, in our scenario 2. Salary expenses. So if we pay salary, how it will affect the books of account, and if if it is in reversing journal, it will get affected. Now what I will do, I will add one more column of the same, and then we'll change the rate also, date also. Scenario 2. Okay. So this is the first column, the first table, for first column having actual amounts. Then second column, this is reversing journal from 1st April to 2nd May, but I will change the date range. How to change the date range? Just alter the column. Suppose I would like to check this from 1st of April, 1st of May, let's say 2nd of May. We have entered that entry on 2nd May to 31st May. Enter as it is. Okay. And then third column, after 31st May, that is from 1st of April. We will alter this column to 1st April. For 1st June, from 1st of June. See, so reversing journal has effect only between the two dates. That is from 2nd May, we have entered the date as 2nd May and to till 31st May. So it is showing the effects only till that particular date. Though even though we are checking the scenario effect, checking the effect of reversing journal through scenario after that particular date of applicability, it gets reversed. It doesn't show in the report also. So this is how reversing journals are entered. So the next part is optional vouchers. Optional vouchers. So this is also one type of non-accounting voucher, but like memo and reversing journal, it has not separate voucher type. Any voucher can be turned into optional voucher by pressing Ctrl L. So this is a non-accounting type of voucher, but just like memo voucher or reversing journal, it has no separate voucher type. Any voucher can be turned into optional voucher by pressing Ctrl L. Again, press Ctrl L to convert that optional voucher into non-optional, that is regular voucher. When to use this type of vouchers? When transaction has not yet been complete, but still you want to affect the account. So if the account is not, means you are not confirmed with the completion of the transaction, so in that case we can enter this as an optional voucher. Different financial reports can be viewed including optional voucher. So what do you mean by this? Suppose you are entering the sales entry, but you have not confirmed whether the sales took place or not, but get it will get completed in the future or at the end of the day. And but present you would like to enter the voucher, you just planning to have all the vouchers to be entered. When it day gets complete, you will convert them into regular vouchers. So for this we can enter the optional voucher. How to enter? Just press Ctrl L to any type of voucher. Suppose I am entering, suppose we received money as a commission received. So I am entering the receipt voucher. Suppose we received that money on 1st of June. Credit will go to cash account. Sorry, received the money, no. So debit will go to cash, credit will go to income, commission income or commission received. So we will create new ledger, commission received. It is indirect income, cost centers not applicable. So suppose we have received 5,600 as a commission, debit will go to cash account. So this is our regular voucher, right? Now just press Ctrl L from the keyboard and see the status is optional voucher. If you press again Ctrl L, it will convert it into regular receipt voucher. So I am pressing it Ctrl L, optional voucher, enter, and let's check the report. Suppose balance sheet we would like to check, and in that current asset it should show the money received in the month of June. It is not showing in the regular books of accounts. Again we can create the scenario. Create scenario 3 with optional voucher. See, do not need to create separate scenarios for all types of optional vouchers or non-accounting voucher. We can have the single scenario where we can check all types of vouchers. Now we will create the third scenario. Suppose I'm not keeping it for optional vouchers only. I'm creating a third scenario where we will include memorandum voucher, reversing journal as well as optional vouchers. Go to balance sheet, Alt C, new column, scenario 3. So, so it is showing all types of incomes. No, it is not showing at present. I have to check whether it is passed or not. We can check the reports even through this. Display more reports, exceptional report, optional vouchers. So display more reports, exceptional reports, and optional vouchers. It's not available. Just a minute. Voucher. It was not entered at all. Just a minute. We will enter once again. Voucher. It is optional voucher and receipt one. Receipt it is. So receipt. Control L is optional voucher on second, 1st of June. Sorry, 1st June. We received commission of 6,500. Debit will go to cash being money received. So this is optional voucher, and go to display more reports, exception reports, optional vouchers from 1 4 to 31st 3. See, it is showing, yes, it is here. 6,500 we have entered through optional vouchers. Now convert it into regular one. How to convert? Press Ctrl L as a toggle key and convert it into regular one. Press Ctrl A. Now just one optional voucher is available. Again convert it into regular one. How to convert it? Ctrl L and press Ctrl A for saving the vouchers. So these are the different types of non-accounting vouchers. You can create scenario to check the outcome of optional vouchers also. These are the different types of non-accounting vouchers. Those do not affect the books of accounts, and to check how it gets affected, we have to create scenarios. Create scenario, different scenarios to check the effects of memorandum, reversing journal, and optional vouchers. So thank you for the day. Practice the same and go through the questions or examples given. Also try to solve the questions questionnaire attached with this video. So thank you.